All right, everybody, welcome to a brand new series on this channel, Musk Industry Daily. These are going to be daily videos that drop every single morning that cover the entire Musk industry, not just SpaceX or Tesla, but the whole thing. This series is meant for investors, people who like to follow the Elon Musk story very closely, and they're going to be around 10 minutes covering the most important things happening in the Elon ecosystem every single day. I'm uploading today's version just so you can see what it looks like, and if you're interested, I have these available for members starting at the $9.99 tier here on YouTube. Unfortunately, if I were to upload these videos every single day on my existing YouTube channel, the algorithm just won't know what to do with it. I do these giant, huge production videos, as I'm sure you're familiar, and having those two together, the YouTube algorithm won't know what to do with that. And so to try and deliver both products in the best way that I can, I have these available for members only. And so if you like what you hear, if you find a lot of value in these videos, go ahead and sign up and become a member and enjoy. Welcome to Musk Industry Daily. Today is June 23rd, 2026. Here are today's top stories. SpaceX signed an AI compute lease, won a Texas court ruling tied to Starbase access, and expanded Starlink aviation service, while Tesla faced renewed scrutiny after a crash in Katy, Texas, involving a Model 3. SpaceX has signed an AI compute lease with Reflection AI, an open-source artificial intelligence startup, according to CNBC, and posts from Sawyer Merritt, Herbert Ong, and Musconomy. The agreement gives Reflection access to SpaceX AI infrastructure and NVIDIA GB300 chips, with payments of about $150 million per month starting July 1st, 2026. If the agreement runs through 2029, total payments would reach roughly $6.3 billion. CNBC reported that either side can terminate the contract with 90 days notice after the first 3 months. The significance is that SpaceX is not just using compute internally. It is selling scarce AI infrastructure to outside customers. CNBC also reported that SpaceX has had compute-related deals with Anthropic, Google, and Cursor. Herbert Ong described the deal as another sign that SpaceX is expanding into AI infrastructure. Musconomy said SpaceX built Colossus to train Grok and is now renting that compute to outside firms. Reflection, through CNBC, said the added compute will help accelerate what it calls American open intelligence. The lease could create a recurring revenue line outside launch services and Starlink connectivity. The limiting factor is durability. The termination clause means the headline contract value is not the same as guaranteed revenue, and outside leasing also raises the question of how SpaceX balances customer demand against internal compute needs. My take here, I think the compute itself is the story, not just the customer. The market focuses on model rankings, but the long-term AI winners are the ones with durable data and infrastructure advantages. This shows SpaceX can turn Elon Musk's build capacity into an AI balance sheet asset. It does not make SpaceX an AI lab, but it makes SpaceX harder to compare with companies in a single industry category. The next things to watch are the amount of GB300 capacity allocated to Reflection, whether the lease survives beyond the early exit window, and whether SpaceX discloses more long-term compute commitments. Next, to SpaceX's Texas launch base. The Texas Supreme Court has unanimously ruled for SpaceX and state officials in a years-long dispute over temporary Boca Chica Beach closures during Starship launch activity. The Texas Tribune reported that the court dismissed the lawsuit with prejudice and held that a 2009 constitutional amendment preserves public beach access, but does not give private groups the right to sue to enforce it. The case was brought by environmental groups, including Save RGV, over closures tied to SpaceX operations under a 2013 state law. CBS Austin reported that the Texas Attorney General's office intervened on behalf of the state. For SpaceX, the ruling reduces a recurring legal overhang around Starbase. As Starship shifts from isolated test events toward cadence, predictable access rules matter. Launch timing depends not only on hardware and federal approvals, but also on local road and beach closure logistics. Sawyer Merritt described the ruling as the end of a years-long legal battle and highlighted the court's finding on private enforcement rights. The Texas Tribune framed the decision more procedurally, reporting that the court did not say public beach access lacks constitutional protection, but that these private groups could not enforce it through this suit. That leaves a distinction investors should understand. The decision improves SpaceX's legal position at Boca Chica, but it does not settle every possible future dispute over access, environmental impact, or local governance. Different plaintiffs, legislative action, or separate regulatory fights remain possible. My take here, I think this matters because Starship is becoming a cadence business, not a one-off launch event. The second order effect is less friction around testing rhythm, which is what ultimately determines how fast the hardware learns. Legal certainty at Boca Chica is boring, but boring constraints are exactly what can throttle a program like this. Watch for whether environmental or community groups pursue another route and whether the ruling translates into a more predictable Starship launch and test schedule at Starbase, from launch logistics to in-flight connectivity. United Airlines has flown its first wide-body transatlantic customer flight equipped with Starlink. The flight used a Boeing 777-200 from Newark to London Heathrow, according to United's announcement and reporting highlighted by Muskonomy. United said the aircraft is the first of nearly 60 wide-body jets it plans to equip with Starlink this year. The airline expects its entire wide-body fleet to have Starlink by summer 2027. Muskonomy reported that United already has Starlink installed on more than 400 aircraft and expects to approach 1,000 aircraft by the end of 2026. This matters because wide-body aircraft are the more demanding aviation test. Long-haul passengers notice bad connectivity, and oceanic routes expose the limits of traditional systems. If Starlink performs reliably on these flights, it strengthens the case that satellite broadband can become standard airline infrastructure, not just a passenger perk. United described the rollout as fast, free Starlink Wi-Fi for Mileage Plus members. United Chief Executive Scott Kirby wrote on LinkedIn that the Boeing 777 is a workhorse on long-haul routes and that international routes are the ones he is most excited about for Starlink. The execution risk is installation and certification. Wide-body fleets are complex, and full rollout depends on aircraft type approvals, downtime windows, and installation capacity. But United's decision to accelerate gives Starlink a visible airline reference customer on high-value routes. My take here, I think wide-body Starlink is the real aviation proving ground. Long-haul passengers notice bad connectivity, airlines can monetize reliability, and fleet-wide installs become much easier to justify if United's 777 experience works. I would watch whether this shifts Starlink from an aircraft amenity into a default airline infrastructure layer. The next milestone is whether United completes the nearly 60 planned wide-body installs this year and whether more global carriers follow with similar fleet commitments. Now, SpaceX's balance sheet. Sawyer Merritt reported that SpaceX had $100.8 billion in cash as of June 19, 2026, citing an SEC filing. The filing was connected to a proposed offering of senior unsecured notes and stated that the cash and cash equivalents balance could be materially different as of June 30th. The same filing said proceeds from the notes offering are intended to repay outstanding borrowings under a bridge loan facility, pay related fees and expenses, and support general corporate purposes. For investors, a cash figure at that scale changes the way SpaceX is assessed. Starship, Starlink, and AI infrastructure are all capital intensive. Analysts may view that level of cash and equivalents as giving SpaceX more flexibility to fund Starship, Starlink, and AI infrastructure while remaining private. The open issue is interpretation. The filing gives a point-in-time liquidity number in the context of a debt offering. It does not answer cash burn, profitability, project-level capital allocation, or valuation. Sawyer Merritt framed the disclosure positively. The Gilt Standard wrote that most of the cash is already spoken for, going into Starship and projects that do not yet exist. Rodman Craig Maffett pushed back, saying cash on hand is less relevant than burn rate. My take here, I think this reinforces why SpaceX is so misunderstood as an investment story. The market usually separates Starship, Starlink, and AI infrastructure into different buckets. But a balance sheet like this would let one company fund several large addressable markets at once. I would be careful on the filing interpretation, but the strategic implication is clear. Watch for the final size and terms of the notes offering, any later cash balance updates, and more detail on how SpaceX is allocating capital across Starship, Starlink, and compute infrastructure. infrastructure. Finally, Tesla and the crash report. Tesla Vice President of AI Software Ashok Ellaswamy said the driver of a Model 3 that crashed into a home in Katy, Texas, manually overrode the vehicle's self-driving system by pressing the accelerator pedal to 100%. He said the vehicle reached 73 miles per hour during the crash and that the accelerator was still pressed afterward. Sawyer Merritt reported that the crash killed a 76-year-old woman inside the home and said Tesla's data changed the narrative around the incident. The crash had drawn scrutiny because early reports linked the vehicle to an automated driving assistance system. The distinction matters for Tesla's liability and public perception. If the driver overrode the system with full accelerator input, the incident is materially different from a crash caused by autonomy software. Investigators could still clarify the system's status and vehicle data in any official crash report. Ashok Ellaswamy's post attributed the crash dynamics to driver input. Sawyer Merritt said media coverage wrongly led people to think the vehicle was at fault. The cyber stud questioned whether the original confusion came from news reporting, police sourcing, or Tesla's limited public relations function. One ex-user cited in the discussion said Tesla's account should be treated cautiously until investigators release their findings. My take here, I think this is another example of the narrative forming before the facts catch up. Tesla's problem is not just safety data, it is the speed gap between an incident, media framing, and the technical record. If the driver manually overrode the system, that materially changes the story, but Tesla still has to get better at making the facts impossible to ignore early. Watch for any police, court, or regulator update that confirms the vehicle logs and explains whether a self-driving feature was active before the accelerator override. A few more items for investors to know. President Trump said the new Air Force One is fitted with Starlink, according to Muskonomy and Teslarati. The aircraft is an interim Boeing 747-8, and Trump described its communication systems as including Starlink. For investors, the significance is a high-profile government aviation installation in a mission-critical connectivity market. At Giga Texas, new drone imagery from Joe Tegmeyer showed more steel assembly at Tesla's planned Optimus factory, including a section that appears to have at least 4 floors. Sawyer Merritt said the factory is going up quickly, while Joe Tegmeyer said the structure remains on track for substantive completion in late 2027. The investor focus is whether physical construction starts matching Tesla's long-term robot production ambitions. Tesla also published a video titled How Tesla Vision Helps Deploy Airbags Earlier. Tesla said its camera-based system can help identify unavoidable collisions and support deployment decisions up to 70 milliseconds earlier, while impact sensors still make the final airbag decision. The key investor point is that Tesla is positioning vehicle perception as a safety layer beyond driver assistance. Elon Musk posted about a dispute involving Representative Ro Khanna, endorsing one post calling for Khanna to be in prison and posting that it was time to sue a critic, according to Musk's posts and Sawyer Merritt. Musk separately defended Doge's handling of USAID-related claims and referenced Justice Department bribery cases involving aid contracts. This is not company operating news, but principal-level political and legal activity remains part of the public risk profile around Musk's government work. That is Musk Industry Daily for June 23, 2026. The main watch points are SpaceX's AI infrastructure economics, Starbase launch cadence, Starlink aviation execution, and Tesla's ability to anchor autonomy debates in verifiable incident data.